It was week 4 in 2025, and I went into the Sunday night game with a 99% chance of winning, with only the Packers defense left to play. But the guy I was going against, as well as the rest of our chat, bullied me into putting the backing in so that I could win with honor. The Packers defense proceeded to allow... Welcome to Fantasy Fumbles, everybody. I'm your host, Johnny Barrow, and with me is Micah Bailey. And Micah, I'm really excited for this pod. This is the start of something new, and I'm ready to build a community for all of us fantasy football managers to celebrate the fails.
Yep.
This is I guess you could call this a failabration, if you will. So
yeah, we're
going to be sharing Yes. So we're going to be sharing stories about fantasy football fails from this season, from seasons past. Like, did you make a mistake setting your lineup? And like, did you have a close loss? Stuff like that. And so we're just going to be doing podcasts like this, doing episodes like this on a week-to-week basis. And I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I don't know about you, but I'm excited.
I'm happy for this. I'm like, I fail all the time, so
yeah,
we're good here.
We're going to kick off with a story from your boy. So during week 5, I was up 62.4 to 52 we're just going to estimate. I was up 62 to 53 going into the late afternoon. I can't talk, man. Going into the late afternoon slate. I'm fumbling reading this.
Fumbling in fantasy and we're doing great.
Yep, 100%. English is hard, man.
Yes, it is.
I was still projected to win by a lot. And then the Bucs-Seahawks game happened. JSN and Emeka Egbuka combined for 60 points. My players, Amon-Ra St. Brown and Debo, were pretty serviceable for me. They scored around their projected. And going into Sunday night, I was up 131 to 124. I told my friend that I was playing against, it was all going to come down to our tight ends. I had Hunter Henry, and he had Travis Kelce. Hunter Henry got me 6.5 points, while Travis Kelce went off for his best performance of the season with 19. And that's how I lost. And if you want to know what the biggest difference in that game was, it was Hunter Henry dropping that touchdown right before the half. That would have won me the game.
Yep.
So,
and I will go ahead and apologize for that. So I'll apologize for that because I'm the one that dropped him. Yeah, I'm the one that dropped him. That's sad stuff.
Yeah, so that wasn't fun at all. I mean, I was frustrated when he dropped that catch, and I mean, I'm even more frustrated now because I lost by 6, and a catch and a touchdown that would have put me just ahead of him.
You were the champion.
Micah, do you have any fumbles from this past week?
This past week, not too much because I actually won this past week. But 2 weeks ago, we're in week 5, so 3 weeks ago,
we're in week 6. So we're recording this on Thursday night.
Yeah,
start of week 6.
Yeah, so about 3 weeks ago, I was in probably one of the ugliest grudge matches I think all season. And like, it was so bad. Like, me and the guy we're playing against, we both only had like 90 something points. Like, it was horrific. And I had a 32-point running back on my bench because God forbid I actually do something right in a fantasy week, but I almost won. I lost by 1.5 points because Ladd McConkey, even though the Chargers will not use him this entire season, he had one catch for like 15 yards or 120 or something like that, and it got called back on a penalty. A penalty lost me the game, and I stayed up for that game too because I'm like, it was like an 11 o'clock game or something. It was like super late, and I'm like, I'm not staying up for this. I stayed up for it, and I regret it because I lost, and that hurt my soul. That hurt my soul to no end.
Oh man, that was the doubleheader game against the Raiders on Monday night.
Yeah.
Oh man. So who was your running back that got 32 points?
David Montgomery. Oh no. It wasn't David Montgomery. No. It was Rome Odunze, not the running back. So Chicago wide receiver when they played Detroit.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Because that was the game. That was the game where I was debating between David Montgomery and Rome Odunze, and I'm like, I think Montgomery will bounce back, and then yeah. That was Odunze's
I might have accidentally led you.
Season.
Yes, I might have led you astray there because you asked me personally, like, would I start Rome Odunze in the flex or would I start David Montgomery? And I picked David Montgomery. And Rome Odunze.
I even told you that. I'm like, I was probably going to pick him anyway because I'm like, it's Chicago. Like, who's expecting a Chicago receiver to get more than 20 points? You know what I mean? Like, but yeah, right. Sure, yeah, just my luck.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, it didn't help that it was such a one-sided game, and that was like the one thing that was going right for Chicago was Rome Odunze.
Rome Odunze. It's the one thing.
You would think they were winning by a lot at that point, but nope. They lost by like 30 points, and he scored 30 points.
Yes,
That's very unfortunate, man. Ladd McConkey, he's been a bust this season so far.
Oh my! Don't remind me. Don't remind me. I've had to suffer through that.
I have to be reminded by it every week because he's still on my team, and I'm still starting him because I still believe like this is gonna be the week that he pops off. I think
you know what? Both their star running backs are down. They're playing Miami. If he doesn't get more than 15 points, he's getting traded. I'm sure of it. Because, like, why? Like, actually, why?
Wait, so say that again. You said Amari and Hampton's out as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I read. So
Najee Harris is out.
Something has to.
Okay, I actually didn't hear that.
Yeah.
Najee Harris is out for the season. Amari and Hampton is out this weekend. And who do the Chargers have?
Someone named Haskins, like something Haskins. Because I saw him pop up in the fantasy lineup, and I'm like, yep, whoever wants the third stringer, go right ahead.
Oh man, they're playing Miami this week. Okay, got it. I couldn't remember who the Chargers were playing off the top of my head. Got it.
Yep,
that'll be interesting. So I have another story from me, and this is from my other league. I shared me on the losing side of our league, and now I'm sharing the losing side of somebody else in another league I'm in. So I won 103.4 to 103.14. Okay. So I actually didn't pay attention to this league going into the Monday night game between the Chiefs and the Jags. He had Trevor Lawrence and Harrison Butker. And you want to know what made the difference in me winning that game?
Harrison Butker.
The Trevor Lawrence fumble.
Oh, that one. Okay, yeah.
The Trevor Lawrence fumble at the goal line. They were at the 1 yard line. All they needed was a touchdown. He fumbles the ball. And I win by less than a point. Talk about a bad way to go out. But yes, we were talking, me and Joel were talking on the Discord. We were talking about how, I didn't even realize, again, I was not paying attention to this league during this game. But I was telling Joel, I'm like, you got like 12, 20 seconds left. And this is the same team that came back like with 13 seconds left and had Harrison Butker kick like a 50-plus yard field goal. And I thought they're about to go in the same situation. And then 2 downs later, it's like, oh, yeah, they're not going to kick. So, I mean, I thought for sure that it was going to come down to a Harrison Butker field goal, and they never got there. And I'm glad it didn't come to that.
So not just for fantasy, but just football in general.
Yes. It's amazing. Like, football is a game of inches, but that is also true for fantasy football as well. It is a game of inches and turnovers and just minor mistakes.
Yeah, just call it the game of decimals.
All right, I'm going to read this one. This is from the guy that I mentioned before. This is from our buddy Joel.
Ooh.
You're going to love this one.
Oh, yeah.
It was week 4 in 2025. And I went into the Sunday night game with a 99% chance of winning, with only the Packers defense left to play. And Micah is laughing because he was on the winning side of this matchup.
I know this one.
So Joel, he said, I had thought about putting them on my bench so that there was no shot that I would lose. But the guy I was going against, as well as the rest of our chat, bullied me into putting them back in so that I could win with honor. The Packers defense proceeded to allow 30. It was actually 40 points.
40, yeah.
They proceeded to allow 40 points and generated negative 5 points on my team, which was low enough to make me lose. I will never win with honor ever again.
You can lose with honor. There you go. You can lose with honor. And that's it. Hey, in my defense, everyone told him there's no way that Green Bay is gonna let Dallas run over them. So we all said that. We were all so confident. So he could blame all of us.
As a Cowboys fan, I did not think that was going to happen. I did not think we were going to score like that. We were without CeeDee Lamb, and somehow we still put 40 points on this defense that everybody said was going to carry the Packers to the NFC Championship. And you allow 40 points to the Cowboys, who everybody was selling stock in going into the season.
Yup. I was like, credit to them, I guess. But it gave me a week 4 win. I'll take it.
I mean, that's got to be one of the craziest ways to lose a fantasy game that I've ever heard of. I mean,
we bullied him into losing.
You start off because with your defense, you start off with 10 points, and somehow you went backwards very gradually throughout the game. Somehow he landed with negative 15. Negative 5.
Negative 5. Wow.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
Negative 15. Dear God.
So you went 15 back. Like, how is that possible?
Yeah, I was with him that night.
I mean,
face. It's like his face.
I've heard it all, man. All right, we're going to go into our Heartbreakers segment now. These are the guys who could have done something, but it all came down to one play. I mentioned Hunter Henry before. He dropped a touchdown catch right before the half for the Patriots and the Bills, so they elected to kick the field goal inside the red zone, and Hunter Henry, he just hit him in the hands, and he ended up getting 6.6, and he could have very well had 13 to 14 points, and unfortunately, that is the reason why I am 2-3 and not 3-2.
Yep.
We also have Micah. It's amazing to me that this is the second week in a row that this has happened, but you know that the Cardinals are down to their third and their fourth string running backs because James Conner's out for the year and Trey Benson is on IR right now. And so right now they have Michael Carter and Amari DeMarcado. And Amari DeMarcado, he had a long touchdown run, or what should have been a long touchdown run. And I can't remember what exactly his total would have been had he crossed the plane, but he ended up getting 6 points. 6 points. He could have had a lot more than that, but he decided, you know what? I'm going to show off and I'm going to fumble this ball through the end zone.
The week after Adonai Mitchell for the Colts does the exact same thing. And it's just like, really? Twice in a row? I was like, we've done this twice in a row.
Yeah. I don't know how many people picked up DeMarcado because, the Cardinals, they love to run the ball. They want to run the ball. And so he was probably one of the hottest waiver wire pickups of the week. And I mean, if it came down to that for you, I am sorry. That happened.
So that's brutal.
That is a terrible way to go out. AJ Brown, we mentioned Ladd McConkey before. He has been arguably one of the biggest busts of the season. This is a guy who a couple years ago was actually considered an MVP candidate at one point.
Oh yeah, he was balling.
That's how good. Yeah, that's how good this guy was playing. It wasn't the year that they made the Super Bowl. It was the year before that when their offense kind of crapped out. But AJ Brown was having a phenomenal season. It was him and Tyreek Hill, and then obviously Lamar Jackson ended up winning it all. So he scored 9 points against the Broncos. At one point in the third quarter, Jalen Hurts launches a bomb to A.J. Brown, and Hurts overthrew him. It would have been a walk-in touchdown.
Yep.
And it was a 50-plus yard touchdown too. So, I mean, he probably would have had at least 16, 17 points if it weren't for that. And he ends up with less than 10. So,
but you know
A.J.
what?
Brown has been losing.
But you know what? He did make up for it. He made the best defensive play all game at the end of the game when he defended his own receiver, Devontae Smith, so that the Broncos could win the game. You know, he made up for it. He made up for it in spades. It's all right.
And that is how the Eagles lost their first game. And A.J. Brown has been losing managers' games all season long. Micah, I'll let you touch on this one, but for the first 4 weeks of the season, it looked like the Colts had found their version of Brandon Aubrey. And ironically, this guy is he went to Notre Dame, same as Brandon Aubrey, and his wife is actually a part of the U.S. national women's soccer team. So
I didn't know that. That's cool.
Is kind of in their family. It's really cool, right? Cool. So I'm kind of curious how that works. Is it like, does your wife kind of coach you a little bit? Like,
hey, who knows,
how does this work? Micah, you had Spencer Schrader, who for the first 4 weeks of the season was the number one kicker in fantasy. He had only missed one field goal all year. He hit a game winner against the Broncos. And unfortunately, this rarely happens, but he suffered a season-ending injury on an extra point attempt.
Yep, he did. And also, for specifics, he has torn his ACL and his MCL all at the same time. So there you go. But yeah, where do we start with this one? Yeah, I had him. I had Brandon Aubrey. I actually had him in. I have a league for my work. I have like a sleeper league for my work, and I had him in that one too. So I lost him in 2 different leagues. I was like, because of that. And I'm just sitting here thinking, how? How? I'm like, I feel like kicking, unless it's like a knee injury, you know, or something like that. Like you land on your, like kicking injuries, like you said, they're so rare. Like they just you don't see that unless someone just like rams into your leg or something. So it's like for that to happen on an extra point, no less, it's just like, wow. Like I now need a new kicker in 2 different leagues. That's wonderful.
Oh,
that's great. I was like, I get bailed out of this one because I have Brandon Aubrey, but my other one, I'm like, I had to scramble and find another one, whatever was left. I'm like, I don't even know. I don't even know who half of them are. So I'm like,
oh my gosh.
Picking one.
Kickers are having a rough year, man. Kickers are getting their field goals blocked. And so I'm sure plenty of people did not draft Spencer Schrader going into the beginning of the season, but a lot of people picked him up after his hot start within the first couple of weeks. And just like that kicker is out, and now they're forced to try and find another kicker, try to get lucky again. And, you know, that's going to be really difficult because, I mean, it's slim pickings this season with the way that these kickers have been playing. I don't know if it's because Justin Tucker is no longer in the league and the rest of the kickers just aren't good anymore because he's no longer in the league. But it's a mystery why these kickers are not performing well.
Right. It's not part of the kickers just blame the special teams for not like forgetting how to block. Like, goodness gracious.
Exactly. So we're going to move on now to, before we talk about one more story, I'm going to reveal our all boom and all bust team. So I crunched the numbers, and these are the guys that overachieved and underachieved the most in week 5. So Team Boom is made up of Sam Darnold, Rico Dowdle, Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt, Kendrick Bourne, Emeka Egbuka, AJ Barner, Ryan Flournoy, I think I'm pronouncing his name right, the New Orleans defense, and Kaimi Fairbairn. Who surprises you the most on that list?
Like 2 people that I have no idea who they are. I think it's the 2 that came after Kendrick Bourne. I don't even know who those 2 are. But
yeah, exactly.
It's like, who?
Oh, man.
I was like, but I think if we're going...
I watched that.
No, you're good. You're good.
Go ahead.
No, I was saying, if you're going off name recognition, probably Kendrick Bourne. Honestly, because that 49ers team, God bless their hearts. Oh man, I call them the San Francisco Infirmary for a reason. And you go into a game without your starting quarterback, your number one receiver, your number two receiver, your number three receiver, your number one tight end, and a couple pieces on the defense, and you have Mac Jones and Kendrick Bourne looking like, Randy Moss and whatever quarterback had him at the time, just like pick one. It doesn't matter.
Brady.
Yeah, Tom Brady, Randy Moss. There you go. I'm like on a random Thursday. I was like, okay, I see you. It's a Mac Jones looking good. Kendrick Bourne having an all-pro, all-career game for him. I'm like, hey, go for it. But I ain't mad about it.
Exactly. Yeah. I was watching that Thursday night game live, and I already knew he was going to end up on this list because I'm like, there's no way his projected is that high, even with Ricky Pearsall, Jawan Jennings, and whoever else was out, plus George Kittle. But, I mean, it was the perfect opportunity for him to score big, especially considering he was playing with Mac Jones, who was his former quarterback in New England. So they already had that chemistry going together. And it's so funny because it was back when New England had no weapons. But, I mean, Mac Jones did like himself some Kendrick Bourne, and Kendrick Bourne put up. I did not see that coming. Kendrick Bourne, like you said, looked like Randy Moss. Yeah, and who were the guys? AJ Barner, you ever heard of him?
Nope. I never heard of him.
I think he's the Seahawks like third string tight end. I could be wrong. Maybe he's their one and he's just not projected to get a lot. Because I know they drafted Elijah Arroyo from Miami.
Yeah. Right.
And then there was one other guy. I can't remember the other tight end, but I think he might be their third stringer. He was projected to get 5 points.
Oh, my Lord.
This man got 24. He had 24 against Tampa.
Oh, well, our secondary is trash, so you're welcome. But, like...
secondary's trash, but still, we allowed this guy to pop off.
The third stringer of all people. Jay said, "Who? This is our new wide receiver one right over here."
Exactly. Like, I mean, this is in the middle of JSN's crazy performance. Before we went live, I was telling you, I'm like, there is one. I was typing this out, and even this surprised me. I didn't even think twice about it. New Orleans defense scoring 18 points.
Ooh.
They were projected to get 5. 18 is crazy. I know you're playing against the Giants, but still. That is a lot for the Saints defense.
I was like, Jackson Darcy.
I mean, who do they even have these days? I mean, I know Kool-Aid got a pick at one point, but then it's like, who else do you have? Like Old Head, DeMario, and Cameron Jordan? Like, they don't really have a whole lot of bodies there.
No, but hey, good for
so
that.
we move on to Team Bus. These are the guys that underachieved hard this week. So quarterback, we have Cooper Rush. who had 1 point. One. Projected to score 16. And he got 1.
He got 1.
Yikes. That's bad. James Cook, Alvin Kamara, Quentin Johnston, Jacoby Myers, Zach Ertz, Willie Marks, Seattle's defense, and then, of course, your boy Spencer Schrader, who got 2 points because of the injury.
Yep.
Yeah, Seattle. I mean, obviously, that Seattle-Tampa game was a shootout, and they ended up getting -5 points. They were this week's Green Bay.
Woo!
That's what they were.
Yeah.
Zach Ertz scored 0 points, my guy. He wasn't targeted at all. In Jaden Daniels' return, he said...
Zeros.
This was Jaden Daniels' return, and they won against the Chargers. And they said, yeah, Zach Ertz, you don't deserve anything this week. Which is sad because through the first 2 or 3 weeks of the season, he was like a top 5 tight end. And all of a sudden you drop a goose egg. Like, where did this come from? I remember Zach Ertz. He carried me in my first year of fantasy. Quentin Johnston, he finally looked like a wide receiver 3. Finally.
I have him.
7 points.
The 1 week I faced Lad McConkey, that's when they actually throw to Lad McConkey. And Quentin Johnson does nothing.
Yeah, they reversed roles this time.
Mm-hmm.
And James Cook, it was a close game against the Patriots. He had some pretty decent runs. I was kind of surprised. He only had 5 points.
Yeah.
That was rough. And James Cook, I mean, almost every week he's projected to score 17, 18 points, and he just completely underperformed. And shoot, that's probably one of the main reasons why they lost against New England this past week. They didn't get a whole lot of production from James Cook. So unfortunately, the Bills suffered their first loss to the Patriots, and we have no more undefeated teams.
Woo! Competition.
All right. So it was my first year playing fantasy when I was 3-0 going into week 4. This part, I think this is Joel. Actually,
might be Joel.
This particular week was gonna be close, and all my hopes were riding on Seahawks running back Kenneth Walker playing Monday night. He makes this huge run towards the end of the game and gets tackled just before he reaches the end zone. I was now about 2 points down, and since the Seahawks were winning comfortably, they sat Kenneth Walker the rest of the game. Those two points still haunt me to this day.
No, he got that wrong. It wasn't even 2 points. It was like he lost by literal decimals, because I remember this.
Oh, no.
I was like, I remember this because it was like a 21-0 game. Like, it wasn't anything crazy. But I'm like, you could just tell that rough. I think it was the Giants they played. The Giants were going to do absolutely nothing. Like, there was never a chance they were going to score. And it was like 2 minutes left. And all he needed, because like Kenneth Walker got to run. And it was like for negative yards. But it was like all he needed was one singular yard. And he won the game. Like, that's all he needed. And then they benched him in the 2-minute warning. I'm like, he never got that chance. I was like, I remember that.
Oh, that's rough.
I remember that. That was great.
Oh, man. Anyways, this was a good inaugural episode for Fantasy Fumbles. Micah, thank you so much for joining. Hey. This was awesome, bro. And for the rest of you, for those of you who stuck out to the end, what is your biggest mistake? What is the biggest mistake that you've made in terms of setting your lineup, or a player on the other team popped off, you had a big lead, and then you lost that lead? You didn't necessarily choke, because that's not necessarily up to you. It's more so the players playing for you that choked the game for you, that have no idea of your existence. Hit the link down below in the description. We'll also, who knows, maybe I'll make a Discord server, and maybe it'll be easier for me to see through there. But we'll see. We'll look for creative ways to where we can get more of these stories pumping out. But anyways, thank you guys so much. Later.